Every step you take echoes the heartbeat of change, and every mile run is a promise fulfilled. The Standard Chartered Nairobi Marathon is more than just a race. It's a testament to hope, resilience, and transformative power. The 21st edition of the Standard Chartered Nairobi Marathon is here, and you need to be a part of this uplifting journey. Your participation directly supports the Future Makers program, an initiative dedicated to empowering young people, especially girls and people living with disabilities, to learn, earn, and grow. By running, you're not only challenging yourself, but also investing in their dreams and futures. Join us at the Uhuru Gardens on Sunday, October 27th for a day that blends excitement, unity, and purpose. Register today for just 2,000 shillings at www.nairobimarathon.com and take your place in this pivotal event.
The goat himself.
Yes.
How does it feel when you're driving a car that's in your name?
When I was young, I could know that one day, one time, I will run the way I'm running. I will just create an impact where I'm creating an impact. People actually will be interested in what I'm doing until they will make a car. I think this is a privilege, and you know, it's good for the next generation to learn from it.
You've never not finish. How did it feel for you at that particular point? It must have been extremely tough.
It was really tough. I was not expecting to really drop because I trained for 3 months. My name is Eliud Kipchoge. Watch my story on Sport On with James Wakapi and Bernard Ndong on NTV.
Every journey has its milestones, and each step you take reflects your confidence, resilience, and unwavering focus. And amidst the chaos, you've carved out your own path, defying the odds and inspiring those around you. You've overcome challenges and made your mark. Your story is a testament to innovation, leadership, and impact. It deserves recognition. Nominate yourself or someone who embodies greatness for the Business Daily Top 40 Under 40 Men 2024 title today. Visit top40.bdafrica.com to submit your nomination.
This Sunday on Property Focus, ladies and gentlemen, whether you're in the market for a cozy studio, a spacious 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, or a generous 3-bedroom, this one's for you. For the very first time ever on Kenyan television, actually ever anywhere, we're going to be touring the Tasa Apartments this Sunday at 5:30 p.m. only on NTV.
Doors should not hold out opportunities. Doors are the gateways to progress, the ones that hold ideas, and those that close deals. Let's take those to places where there are none. Let's open big doors that harbor progress. In all the places that we are.
KCB ni yangu.
KCB ni yetu.
KCB is mine.
KCB ni yetu. For people, for better.
Try the new Dunked All-Star Box for only 8.90 Kenyan shillings. Hope you're ready for the new star of the show. KFC, it's finger-licking good while stocks last.
This is NTV.
Good afternoon. It is exactly 1 p.m. on this first Sunday of October 2024. With just one more day to go until the impeachment motion of the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua is heard in the House on Tuesday. My name is Helen Aura, and I'll be keeping you updated on the news making headlines from across the country. Welcome to the broadcast. We begin here in Nairobi, where the Ministry of Health is currently issuing We'll come back to that story, where our reporter Lois Wangoi is currently at the NHIF building. But before then, President William Ruto remains silent on the impeachment of his deputy Rigathi Gachagua just days before debate begins in Parliament. At a church service in Milimani, Nairobi, the president, instead of addressing the ongoing debate on the regulation of worship, he says freedom of worship is guaranteed in law and the state shall not interfere, which could implicate the processing of a bill in the Senate seeking to regulate places of worship. The president is instead asking the church to adopt the findings of the task force report by Reverend Mutavia Musimi and self-regulate.
Apart from what the Constitution provides, we are a God-fearing nation, and we will equally defend our faith. As Christians, as different religions, we will make sure that we protect the freedom of worship in Kenya. And I want to ask those who have ideas to allow religious leaders themselves to develop how they want to regulate themselves and how the church, how religious organizations are going to go forward. Because that was the recommendation of the task force I appointed under Reverend Mutavia Musimi, that the religious body in Kenya will decide how they want to make sure that the freedom of worship in Kenya is protected. And I want to give assurance to the church and to the religious institutions in Kenya that we will defend the right and the freedom of worship in Kenya, and it will not be compromised in whatsoever manner.
The Anglican Church of Kenya has faulted the political class in Kenya for spearheading the impeachment of Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. Archbishop Jackson Olesapit says there has been a wave of impeachment touching even the county governors, which he said was setting the country on a tense mood. He has called on the president and the deputy president to dialogue and to find a way out of their feud.
Uongozi inapolumbana hatuna mwelekeo mwema. Sasa tunaona hapa imeanza tena mapema na hatujui ni shida gani inakuwa kati ya rais na naibu na walitafuta kura wakiwa pamoja. Kwa hivyo letu nikichangia kwa niaba ya kanisa na nikiungana na wale wengine ambao wanachangia katika constituency mbalimbali, langu ni kusema hii motion ya impeachment iachwe, iwekwe kando, nafasi ya mazungumzo ipewe kipaumbele, kwamba rais akae na naibu wake na waseme kile ambayo inatofautisha, maana wakiwa viongozi katika nchi hii, njia mwafaka ambayo wataonyesha Wakenya ni kwamba tunaweza keti chini kusuluhisha shida zetu. Lakini ikiwa viongozi hawezi kuketi chini na kusuluhisha shida zao, basi inaashiria kwamba tunaonyesha Wakenya wengine kwamba nafasi ya kuketi na kusuluhisha kwa mazungumzo haiko, ni kushindana na kubaduliana. Na hiyo haitakuwa mwelekeo mwema kwa watoto wetu ambao tunawafundisha, haitakuwa mwelekeo mwema kwa viongozi wachanga ambao wanakuja. Tutaitengeneza mtindo ambayo haitakuwa mzuri katika taifa hili.
Back to matters health now. The Ministry of Health is currently issuing a press briefing on the transition from the National Hospital Insurance Fund to the Social Health Authority. It has been exactly 6 days since the start of the new policy, with some teething problems experienced across the country. Our reporter, Lois Wangoi, is on the ground. And Lois, could you kindly tell us who is there and what should we expect out of this press briefing?
Good afternoon, Aura, and of course to you, dear viewer. As Aura noted, it has been days, around 6 days, of the shift from NHIF to SHA, which is SHA. So on this day, government delegation around matters health, led by CS Health, Dr. Deborah Barasa, held in a meeting here at the SHA building, and we expect immediately after that meeting, well, they will be coming to us. We are expecting that they will be commenting on the rollout of SHA, the uptake, and its benefits so far, as well as its challenges to Kenyans. The past 6 days, dear viewer, have posed a significant time for the country to hold conversations on the health infrastructure and the new system that is coming in. Among the key stakeholders in that conversation has been Wanjiko on ground. And here on NTV, we have had a full week coverage of the experiences of Wanjiko on the same. Even as the new system comes in, there has been concerns on the efficiency, the practicability and suitability of SHA from NHIF. Immediately after their meeting that is going on, one led by the CS Health, like I noted, Dr. Deborah Barasa, then we will see the delegation that is in that meeting, but we understand the board of SHA could be in that particular meeting, after which they will be coming to talk to Wananchi through the media over their experiences as a government and the infrastructure that they continue to put to ensure the rolling out proper of SHA. As it is, quite a number of reactions coming in from Kenyans, many of them patients walking into government public hospitals seeking medication and also management of diseases and infections. And so far, their experiences say it has not been well. So will it be well with the healthcare infrastructure? Well, Waziri will be here and other persons held in that meeting, and we'll be here to compile it for you later in our subsequent bulletins. For now, back to you, Helen.
Thank you so much, Lois, for that, and we're looking forward to that update, as we do understand that majority of Kenyans who have been in hospital have been forced to pay out of pocket due to a mix-up in this transition. We'll be keeping you updated on that story. Now, a family in Magarini is seeking justice after their 11-year-old daughter was defiled by a middle-aged man in December last year, but capturing the suspect has proven elusive. The family claims their efforts to get justice have been thwarted since the suspect is said to be related to an area sub-chief. Ruth Sarmoi Chesenge tells us more.
In December last year, Amani, not her real name, visited her brother-in-law when a middle-aged man forced himself on her.
Muda kidogo nasikia mtu anabisha. Nikabisha nikaenda hapo nje, hata nafika hivyo akanishika hapo kwa akaenda nayo huko nyumbani. Kaanza kufanya hayo mambo yao. Napomaliza mimi nilikuwa napiga kelele. Kuna mtu alipita alienda shambani. Ndivyo akajambia akasema kuna nini, ndivyo kamaelezea.
A week after the incident, the girl was taken to hospital and reported the matter to the police, but since then, no action has been taken on the suspect.
Wakasema hayo mambo hayo tuachie sisi, tutadili nayo.
Alitoroka ikaenda hivyo jamaa station kule wakanambia kwamba wewe usifanye shida, tutamtafuta na tutampata.
The family feels like the suspect is being shielded by administration for being a relative of the area sub-chief. Relatives of the 11-year-old tracked the suspect, but despite calling the police to arrest him, no action was taken.
Hapo nyumbani ako na sub-chief, na yule amefanya kitendo kicho. Babake mkubwa ndiye ni sub-chief.
Kaenda kumuona pabo nyingine hapo ndani, ye hanioni. Nikarudi na nyuma, kaja kuambia maskari, nishamuona, twendeni. Tukaenda paka hapo. Nikamwambia wewe jamaa ndio huyo hapo ndani. Mimi nikarudi. Nilirudi na hao wakaenda, wamefanya mpango gani paka hawakumshika, sijui iliendaje paka saa hii sijapata habari yoyote kabisa.
A village elder who was pushing for the arrest of the suspect was reportedly forced to resign by the chief after refusing to keep off from the case.
Angekuwa ni mtoto wa ndugu yako, wewe ungechukua hatua kweli? Ama ungefanya hivi? Sasa akaniambia sasa chagua mambo mawili. Ujiuzulu, ufanye kufuatia hiyo kesi, ama ubaki uzo wa kijiji uachane na hiyo kesi.
With the police failing to take any action, the incident has left the grade 6 pupil traumatized and a victim of ridicule.
Amemaliza wiki moja huyu hawezi kula chakula. Ni mtoto wa kulia.
Na mtoto naye saa nyingine hata ana haya na wenzake, manake anaambiwa na wenzake, wewe ulibakwa na mtu tani kama babako. Yani ni mtu ambaye naye anashikitika, na mimi nahuzunika sana.
10 months after the incident, the family is optimistic that the long arm of government will take its course. Ruth Sarmoi Chesenge, NTV.
Quite a tragic incident there. May the family find justice. 3 people, including 2 National Police reservists and a herder who were killed by bandits in Igembe North area in Meru County, have been laid to rest. With a resounding call for an end to banditry in the region, the tragic event has sparked blame shifting between leaders and security agencies, as Nurdin Elmoge now tells us.
As these 3 fallen heroes are laid to rest in their rural home in Kamweleni, Igembe North, their death highlights Kenya's long-standing security issue of cattle wrestling, a decades-old cultural practice prevalent among pastoralist communities. These officers had been on a mission to recover over 400 cattle stolen by cattle rustlers from neighboring community when they were ambushed and killed by the armed criminals.
Kilio hiki, vilio hivi, na jeneza nyingi kama hizi, wacha tuzike watu ambao wamekufa ugonjwa ama wameitwa na Mungu katika pumziko la milele, lakini si wale ambao wamepigwa na risasi ya majangili.
So ile shinda tuko naye ni moja tu, ndio imefanya hii watu wote wamekufa zaidi ya watu 60.
Nao watu siete walikuwa ni wakora, ni watu walikuwa wanafanya kazi kujitafutia riziki.
But as families and relatives mourned their loved ones, the funeral service turned into a forum for accusation and finger pointing.
Mnaiata kwa wanasiasa. Kama umeweka kitu ya mambo ya wizi ya ng'ombe na nini kwa agenda yako ya kukampeni, jua ya kwamba baada ya miezi kadhaa hiyo agenda itakuwa agenda tena.
Mimi nakueleza, wakati hao walikufa, hakuna askari alikuwa hapo. Wale askari walikuwa karibu ni wale wa ile APC. Sababu there is no coordination.
Na ninajua serikali kusema kweli inajaribu vile inavyoweza.
While discussions continue at funerals and other public gatherings, cattle rustling is evolving into a lucrative business for some, turning grief into opportunity for criminals. Nurdin Elmoge, NTV.
We're taking a short break here on NTV at 1, but don't go too far. We have more lined up for you.
Dawa, tu vitu tudogo lakini hesabu mingi. 1 times 4, 3 times 2, 2 times.
Umepitisha limit ya dawa.
That's a tough pill to swallow. He's now wondering why he doesn't have Shwari medical cover. Una access full limit kutumia unavyohitaji. Ukiwa na Shwari, utawahi sikia umepitisha limit ya dawa na bado kuna pesa imebaki. Bonyeza *371# kuchukua Shwari medical cover leo.
Introducing Festive Cakes.
Here are some delightful snacks for all of you.
The Festive Simbella Cake. Indulge in the pleasure of a cone-shaped cake that's bursting with flavors.
Where did you come from?
Come. So this is where the magic happens. This is for you kids.
Festive cupcakes.
Thank you.
Perfect treat to share with friends and family.
Now for your kids' school snacks, hakuna stress.
Festive drink cakes. The perfect blend of sweetness and softness.
And now this is for you, Dad, and your office mate.
festive pound cake. This sumptuous cake will leave you craving for more. Taste the magic with our festive cakes from DPL Festive Bakery. Delight with every bite.
Usiachwe nyuma. Join us at the Standard Chartered Nairobi Marathon. Register by visiting www.nairobimarathon.com and help us move Kenya forward. Standard Chartered Nairobi Marathon. Run, embrace possibility.
This week on Cards with Big Boy Trev, we take a look at the Hyundai Tucson, Korea's answer to the fierce soft roader contest in the used car segment. We check out its design and styling, practicality, engine performance, and its value for money proposition against its well-established rivals like the Toyota RAV4 and the Honda CR-V. Catch this and much more only on Cards with Big Boy Trev this Sunday at 5 p.m. only on NTV.
The beauty soaps I know don't give germ protection.
Dettol Skincare does. It combines the trusted protection of Dettol with 2 times moisturizers to protect my skin from germs and keeps my skin soft with a beautiful fragrance. Beautiful skin is germ-free skin.
Welcome back to NTV at 1 with me, Helen Aura. 6 passengers on board a Kwale-bound bus have cheated death after their vehicle lost control in the mainland ramp at the Likoni Ferry crossing channel. Preliminary investigations reveal that the brakes of the vehicle failed while climbing on the slippery ramp, sliding back into the ferry and flipped on the side, part of it getting submerged into the Indian Ocean. Here's NTV's Kevin Mutai with the details.
The incident occurred at around 8 o'clock Sunday morning when the bus with registration number KCF286V lost control and overturned at the Likoni Ferry crossing channel. Witnesses say that the bus was disembarking from the ferry, but the brakes failed as it was ascending to the slippery ramp.
Gari liko natoka Matu to Ukunda, so imevuka ferry. Gari zinatoka kwa feri, mkokoteni liko mbele na magari zingine ndogo ndogo sio ziko kwa mlima. Alafu yetu iko ishatoka kwa feri ndio inapanda. So mbele gari hazisongi, gari yetu kwa mlima kurudi chini kwa feri. Safu kulikuwa na mvua, ile gari iliteleza ikarudi.
The driver redirected the bus back to the ferry to avoid slipping into the deep waters of the Indian Ocean.
Ilirudi nyuma na akaijaribu ndio ikabidi aiturn ndio ianguke isianguke ndani ya maji.
Fortunately, there were no casualties reported in the incident. All the 6 passengers and the driver rescued and evacuated to hospital, some escaping with only minor injuries.
Wote wako sawa, ni kushtuka tu, walifaa kushtuka. So ni mama mmoja na demu mwingine ndio wameshtuka, lakini wengine wako sawa.
First responders secured the vehicle with wire cables and ropes to prevent it from drifting further into the ocean as they waited for a tow truck to pull it out. The vehicle temporarily blocked the channel, creating traffic as there was no landing of the 2 ferries which were crossing at the channel at the time of the accident.
Maji mnaona yanatoka. Unaona na maji yakitoka ni mara moja kuchukua hiyo basi ingizwe ndani ya maji. So tuwapeni pongezi sana officers wote wale waliokuwa hapa.
The bus was finally retrieved from the channel and operations resumed to normalcy. Motorists have also been urged to exercise caution and be alert while ascending to the steep ramps at the ferry and raise alarm in good time to avert disaster.
There is a process to transfer the assets from Kenya Ferry Services to Kenya Ports Authority, and that is why currently it's still a process which is on its final stages.
Kevin Mutai, NTV in Mombasa.
The Gigiri Police Station, in collaboration with its host community, has initiated a commendable award program aimed at recognizing and honoring the dedication and hard work of officers at the station in maintaining law and order in the community. While launching the first edition of the awards at Gigiri Police Station, the resident officers acknowledged that the community-led awards will go a long way in motivating police officers, while at the same time improving working relationships between the community and the police officers at Gigiri Police Station. Dubbed Best Police Awards, the scheme will be run and managed by Gigiri Community Foundation alongside other partners, and the host community will vote for best performing officers at the station in different categories, including crime and drug abuse, gender-based violence.
You used to stay in a house.
For example, we can
regional police commander.
Tunafanya community policing tu ambayo ilikuwa kutoka kitambo, lakini tumeileta in a better way. Maybe it's not that we are perfect, but we are trying to make it work in a good way or in a good manner. Tunatumia, because zamani ilikuwa ni wazee wa vijiji wanakaa na machief, hiyo ndio community policing, lakini sisi tumekuja na njia ya michezo, tumekuja na njia kama hii ya kuweza kuwezesha polisi waweze kutangamana na raia.
Tunashukuru na tunaomba mwende hivyo, kwa sababu uhusiano ulioko kati ya polisi na wananchi kila wakati unaendelea kusoroteka, lakini sasa tumepata nyinyi kama watetezi na tunajua uhusiano utakuwa ni mzuri.
Meanwhile, a section of leaders have called on the president to reconcile with his embattled deputy Rigathi Gachagua for the sake of political stability and development in the country. This comes at a time when the deputy president is facing an impeachment process that has elicited different reactions across the country.
A day after the conclusion of the countrywide public participation exercise on the impeachment motion against the deputy president Rigathi Gachagua, Kirinyaga Central Legislator Gashoki Girati is among leaders who are now calling for a political truce between the two leaders.
So my prayer is the same way they are talking with, or they spoke with the former Prime Minister, na wakakubaliana, wakae chini na Gachagua, waongee wakubaliane.
We want a one Kenya. We want everybody to see that the nation belongs to all of us. We are not, as members of parliament, our work is not to disturb the peace of the nation.
During the two-day public participation exercise, a section of Kenyans called for the impeachment of both the deputy president and his boss, President William Ruto. However, a section of leaders from West Pokot County have rejected the calls, arguing that it will complicate the process of sending the DP packing.
Ile kitu kubwa ni heshima. Unajua ofisi inaitwa siku hizi presidency. Si ati president na deputy. Presidency lazima wafanye kazi kwa pamoja. Lakini ukipata mwingine sasa anataka kufuta mguu ya mwingine, mtu anataka kwenda mbele, mwingine anataka kufuta, hiyo hata hakuna mali tutaenda.
Wale ambao wanapanga njama ya kuweza kufuruga mikutano ya watu kutoa maoni wanafanya makosa. Na niliona hata jana kuna watu wengine walikubali, wengine walikataa. Sasa hiyo ndio demokrasia. So mimi nataka niseme kwamba kwa sababu wale ambao wanatoa furugu ni watu wamepangwa. Wengine wanapangwa ndio ionekane kwamba hata Wakenya hawakutaka hii maneno na ndio furugu ikatokea.
Meanwhile, agitated residents in Kiambaa constituency protested the absence of their member of parliament John Kawanjiko during the public participation exercise. They are accusing the legislator of avoiding the views of the people on the matter. So far, there are 11 cases in court seeking to stop the impeachment of the deputy president. Vincent Dio, NTV.
Further afield, the Democratic Republic of Congo has launched its first Mpox vaccination campaign as part of its ongoing efforts to curb the spread of the infectious disease. This initiative comes in response to a rise in cases within DRC, with health workers getting the jabs fast.
North Kivu province in DRC Congo is among the most populous and most affected area by outbreaks, and as such, it is among the top beneficiaries for the Mpox vaccination drive. Here, health workers are receiving the vaccine as a precautionary measure as they move from community to community administering the jab. I was motivated to get vaccinated today because as frontline workers, we are supposed to get vaccinated first so that the virus does not spread in the community. We are also here to protect them. The uptake of the Mpox vaccination in DRC Congo is impressive, with many citizens voluntarily arriving at the vaccination points, after which they are issued with a vaccination card for health mapping and follow-ups against the spread of Mpox.
We are supporting all sectors, and particularly today during the launch of the Mpox vaccination campaign, which is extremely important in the fight against transmission and the circulation of the virus in North Kivu, but also across the entire country. Therefore, we support governments at the national, local, and provincial levels. In this fight, it is not just about vaccination. Other interventions are equally crucial. This includes risk communication and community engagement, laboratory work and diagnostics, surveillance to know the total number of cases, and care management for critical cases. However, DRC Congo's health ministry has warned that the campaign scope suffers limited resources for the disease that spreads through close contact, presenting in flu-like symptoms and pus-filled lesions, which can be fatal if left untreated. According to data from WHO, DRC Congo has reported 990 deaths to Mpox, with more than 30,000 suspected cases. Lois Wangoi, NTV.
Let's get sporty now. 36-year-old Vincent Lagat ran a superb race to clinch victory in the Betika Cross Country Championship in Kericho, with Sheila Chelagat securing the top accolade in the women's race at Kericho's Teachers Training College grounds. Lagat stopped the timer after 30 minutes and 4.95 seconds to emerge victorious, with Matthew Kipkoech finishing 6 seconds behind Francis Kipkorir, rounding off the podium places 10 seconds later. In the women's race, Chelagat was head and shoulders above the rest of the pack as she clocked 33 minutes and 18.95 seconds, which was close to 14 seconds ahead of second place Diana Chepkorir. Third place, Maureen Chepkoech clocked 33 minutes and 52.40 seconds. Each of the winners walked away with 150,000 Kenya shillings.
Message ambayo tunaleta leo ni kwamba Kenya iko na talent ya athletics, si haba, that is known. Na pia tunakuja kuleta message ya anti-doping. We are telling our athletes to run clean.
Asiko natarajia lakini nila tu kungangana.
Mudomi Kanana of Windsor Golf Club continued with her winning streak in the second day of the annual Kenya Ladies Open Amateur Stroke Play Champions at the VetLab Sports Club, Nairobi. Kanana, who carded 3 over par 75 gross with a total of 150 gross on Friday and Saturday, is under pressure from Naomi Wafula of Vipingo Golf Resort and Joyce of Kiambu Golf Club. The 3-day 54-hole Kenya Ladies Golf Union event ends on Sunday, 6th of October 2024. The event has attracted 62 lady golfers from different clubs and 4 countries, namely Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, and Zimbabwe.
We are competing for various trophies, the most prestigious one being the Mary Neville Trophy, which is played by golfers of handicap 9 and below. This is a WAGA ranked event, which means the World Amateur Golf Ranking, an international and prestigious ranking of elite players. The Stroke Play Championship is played over 3 rounds, 54 holes in 3 days, and the overall winner of the 54 holes will get a prestigious award and will be recognized and will also earn Golfer of the Year points.
Thank you for keeping me company here on NTV at 1. As you continue to enjoy the rest of your viewing, may the month of October bring you good tidings. My name is Helen Aura. Have a blessed afternoon and see you next Sunday.
This is NTV.
Usiachwe nyuma. Join us at the Standard Chartered Nairobi Marathon. Register by visiting www.nairobimarathon.com and help us move Kenya forward. Standard Chartered Nairobi Marathon. Run, embrace possibility.
Try the new Dunked All-Star Box for only 890 Kenyan shillings. Hope you're ready for the new star of the show. KFC, it's finger-licking good while stocks last.
Acne-prone skin? Marks? Stop. Try new Garnier Charcoal Serum with 4% AHA, BHA and charcoal. The first black serum with no residue. Clinically proven to reduce pimples and acne marks. New Garnier AHA, BHA Charcoal Serum. Approved by dermatologists by Garnier Naturally.
Report to the nearest health facility any child under 15 years experiencing sudden weaknesses in their hands, legs or both with no history of injury. Polio and other vaccines have been tested and are safe and effective. Vaccinate and protect your child now. This message has been brought to you by Ministry of Health, UNICEF and other partners.
This Sunday on Property Focus, ladies and gentlemen, whether you're in the market for a cozy studio, a spacious 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, or a generous 3-bedroom, this one's for you. For the very first time ever on Kenyan television, actually ever anywhere, we're going to be touring the Tasa Apartments this Sunday at 5:30 p.m. only on NTV.
Start out
as females and then become males or remain females.
Yeah.
So when fertilization happens, usually this happens in the woman's fallopian tubes, right? So that happens there. They stay there for like maybe 3-5 days. They move, attach in the uterus, and now start growing. So they start as 2 cells only, right? And then they multiply many times, forming a ball, and then a ball gets some shapes, gets some organs, and becomes a baby eventually. It's not up to them to decide which chromosome they will pass, whether it's an X or a Y.
Yeah.
It's just nature, natural selection.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's an X, sometimes it's a Y, but they're the ones who determine what chromosome will pass.
Okay.
Because a woman is always an X, and they can never at any point pass a Y to make a boy.
Yeah.
It will always be an X.
Yeah.
So the determination lies with the man.
Where did you come from?
Come with me. So this is where the magic happens. This is for you kids.
Taste the magic with our festive cakes from DPL Festive Bakery. Delight with every bite.
Get ready to tantalize your taste buds and embark on a culinary journey with Pishi Bomba, the ultimate cooking show that brings the flavors of the world right into your living room. Tune in this Sunday at 6:30 p.m. with me, Claire Karatu, for a mouth-watering adventure. Pishi Bomba. Cook, eat, enjoy.
NTV, turning on your world. The following program has been rated GE. It is therefore suitable for general family viewing.
Hi, my name is Adele Kyla. We have a poem. Potter's House Academy, Grade 1, ready to present a poem entitled Trees. Welcome. Trees, trees, if you had ears, you could listen to this. You are important to us. You give us food, you give us fresh air, you give us timbers, you give us shade, you make our environment beautiful. I treasure you. Thank you.
You will tell your grandmother or your parents to take you to the village. You plant at least one tree. At least one tree.
Climate change conversation has been held in offices, in the summits, but now it's being held in schools. Teachers are teaching learners how to protect the environment. So today I'll be meeting Adele Kyla, who is 6 years old and is a grade 1 pupil. She's already planted 100 trees, so today we'll be planting 2 more to make it 102. That's amazing. This is That's What's Mtaani. Come with me. When Miss Kenya? Wow.
Third princess.
Wewe third princess, inamaanisha nini? You're the third princess. Unajua nani first princess? But you're the third princess. This is nice. Wow, this is amazing, eh? Alafu shule uniform yenu iko super sana. Si ndio? Please tell me your full names.
My name is Adele Kyla Areng Namuron.
Adele?
Adele Kyla Areng Namuron.
Oh, nice. Which school is this? Eh?
Potter's House Academy.
You have a beautiful school, eh? And then there are trees everywhere. Who's your favorite teacher?
My favorite teacher is Teacher Milka.
Teacher Milka. Why Teacher Milka?
Because she teaches me everything.
Everything. By which subjects does she teach?
Maths, English, environmental, CRE.
Do you have a friend?
Yeah.
Okay, what's her name or his name?
Her name, his name he called Estangeri.
Estangeri. Let me ask you now, does your teacher teach you about planting trees on that environmental subject?
Yeah.
What does she teach you about trees? You can stop here. What does she teach you about trees?
She teaches me, she said,
that you should plant trees, right?
Yeah, and water them.
And water them. Let me fix this for you. Okay. What are the benefits of planting trees? Do you know? What are the benefits? Why do we plant trees?
So that we can have shade, fresh air, and rain.
And rain.
And food.
Fantastic. Clap for yourself. Hey. Awesome. Do you know also that when you plant trees, the animals, the birds get somewhere to stay? Hey, you build a habitat for them. That's amazing, right? Yeah. So today we will plant a tree, right? Yeah. Do you know have you ever planted a tree?
Yeah.
How many trees have you planted so far?
So far, I have planted 100 trees, plus this one.
Plus this one. So this will be the 101.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So, we'll get to planting trees. To plant this tree. So this is a seedling. You see this? Yes. So we'll put it there and then tuifunike. No? Do you know the name of this tree?
No.
It's called a lemon cypress tree.
Yeah.
Yes, it takes close to like 7 years to become big, and then now we can have the shade, and then now the animals, the birds can come and build a habitat there.
They can have fresh air.
Exactly, right? Yeah. Good. Let's get to planting it. Let me bring it. Okay. Yeah. Let me put it down slowly, slowly. Let me drop it down for you. Slowly, slowly. Right. Good. Kyla has planted over like let's say it's 100 trees. No, they plant at a moja. 100 trees. Noko, how old?
6.
Imagine, guys, that's a big challenge. Plant trees for your environment. She already knows why she's planting trees. She's been told how to go about it. That's amazing. That's a challenge to you. Because if we plant trees, we've got to protect our environment, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. So tell them, plant trees.
Yeah.
Tell them over there, plant trees.
Plant trees.
Yeah, plant many trees. You planted 100, right?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. That's like water. Process gani mebaki?
Watering.
Come to water. Module kwanza hii tuweke hii sand hii namina soil yote.
And she also plant a tree anyway.
Haya, kuja hii side ndio. So guys, this is the 101 tree. Going 1, 2, yay! So guys, this tree 10 years from now, it will be a big tree. It will be a big tree, and the benefits, hata labda tutakuwa hapa, hata labda Kyla atakuwa hapa, si ndio? But the benefits will be felt by all people, everyone staying here, all our learners wote wako hapa watafeel hizo benefits. Why? Because someone took their time to plant trees. 100 trees and counting. How many trees have you counted? Have you planted? Make it a challenge. Plant many trees and let's support you, right? Exactly. 10 years from now it will be big trees, ndio? Sasa nataka nafikiria, si unaweza panda mti mwingine? Hata mpande na principal. Kuja tuende tukapanda.
Our main objective is to curb global warming.
Okay.
Because when you talk about climate change, you're talking about global warming and how the climate is changing and affecting the globe. Trees,
come to this side. Yeah.
Trees help to reduce the concentration of carbon dioxide.
Okay.
And when we have a lot of concentration of carbon dioxide, then the ecosystem doesn't go well. Plants, animals, human beings, we have trouble.
Yes.
And desertification comes in. But when we have trees, trees are going to control the concentration of carbon dioxide, and that is going to make it easier for each and everybody.
Okay.
We are doing it at our small level with Adele here, who has already planted 100. I think I've also planted like 500 or something like that.
Awesome.
And
we can be planting it, yeah?
At our small level,
we
do it. If everybody can plant at least one tree. In Kenya, if we say that one person plants a tree, we shall have how many millions of trees? Over 40,000?
Yeah.
40 million trees? Yes.
Why should we plant trees? Can someone tell me?
In CBC, we have topics that deal with conservation, and children are taught from an early age how to conserve the environment, how to understand the benefits of conservation, to understand the benefits of trees at a very early age. At school here, other than teaching them in class, we have clubs and we have activities of tree planting. I just told you that last week we planted about 100 trees within the school as part of the activity of tree planting.
Okay.
So
that is awesome.
That is going on. It's a process that is going on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. So you have trees all over. All these trees, people have taken time to plant them. You planted them over time.
If you just look around, you'll see that the seedlings all over the place. We planted. If you go around the school, we have tried to make it green because we understand that we do it at our small level. And if everybody can take time, even just to plant one tree, the effect will be awesome.
Good. Awesome. Talk to the principals probably who really they don't really buy the idea, or probably they don't think it's a viable thing to go about, planting trees every time, and the passion that you have for planting trees.
For my fellow principals, we have the space within the schools. Let us utilize those spaces. Let's plant trees along the hedges of our schools. Other than being live hedges for beauty of the school, they'll also be functional in reducing the concentration of carbon dioxide. which will be good for the ecosystem.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, good. And so how do you think climate change may affect Eldoret? In that, ndio tufike mahali tuseme we need to plant more trees. How has a county been affected?
Uasin Gishu County is an agricultural county, and with climate change, everything is affected. The rains come at the wrong time, or they come more than expected. So it is a whole system where the farmers will have problems because their produce will not be to the levels they want. And of course, it also affects our day-to-day life. And when the farmers don't get their produce well, it affects people in town. We want to make a city that means we are going to even invite more people. More people will be coming to the city.
Yeah.
And they need to be fed.
That's true.
Yes.
That's true.
And once the farmers don't produce enough, there'll be shortage of food.
That's true.
And hata kazi itapungua.
Yeah.
So there's a ripple effect in almost every sector. Yes.
That's good, the fact that you're also instilling such knowledge to the the young ones.
And the Bible says we teach them early, and when they grow up, they'll not divert.
That's true.
Yeah.
Fantastic. We are at 100 and Kayla, you are at 100 and?
She's at 102.
102, right?
Yeah.
Good stuff. So 10 years from now, this tree, they all know what I mean, and the benefits will be able to satisfy very many people at it.
Try the new Dunked All-Star Box for only 8.90 Kenyan shillings. Hope you're ready for the new star of the show. KFC, it's finger-licking good while stocks last.
Makofi to both baby and the new Morphix diapers. With its cottony soft texture and 3 times faster absorbent channels, the new Morphix diapers help to prevent rush. Morphix, comfy like a mom's hug.
This week on Cars with Big Boy Trev, we take a look at the Hyundai Tucson, Korea's answer to the fierce soft roader contest in the used car segment. We check out its design and styling, practicality, engine performance, and its value for money proposition against its well-established rivals like the Toyota RAV4 and the Honda CR-V. Catch this and much more only on Cars with Big Boy Trev this Sunday at 5 p.m. only on NTV.
The beauty soaps I know don't give germ protection.
Dettol Skincare does. It combines the trusted protection of Dettol with 2 times moisturizers to protect my skin from germs and keeps my skin soft with a beautiful fragrance. Beautiful skin is germ-free skin.
The 21st edition of the Standard Chartered Nairobi Marathon is here. Register today for just 2,000 shillings at www.nairobimarathon.com.
Why are you in my office without my authorization?
What did you tell Angela? You knew she was planning to break up with me. I want to know why.
I told you. What there is between me and Angela is very deep.
All right, let's get started. I need you to relax, dear. You look quite tense.
Is that really my baby?
Yes, here it is.
You are the one.
Where did you come from?
Come with me. So this is where the magic happens. This is for you kids.
Taste the magic with our festive cakes from DPL Festive Bakery. Delight with every bite.
The performance is reported
on individual basis, comparison is difficult, and that meant that our focus and even the regulators' focus was more on solvency rather than sustainability. IFRS 17 also deals with that capital allocation, the mapping of your risks and allocation of your capital to those specific risks. Investors who are looking for returns and who in the past were looking for short-term current returns will find that now there's a call to inject more capital into their business. There's a collection issue that bank assurance has addressed, bridging the funding gap for customers to access premiums and to pay. And the regulator is looking at that. They're trying to make sure that we do it.
Yeah. Yes. Hey, it's okay. Kama kaida tujamaliza. So, anaitwa teacher? So, I would like to ask you, wewe umepanda miti?
Yes, nimepanda miti mingi sana.
Sana. Unafaa kupata namba. Kaila akona namba. She's at 102.
Wow.
Yeah. According to you, do you know what climate change is?
Yes, I do.
Yes.
Yeah, climate change is a long-term shift. The climate, the weather change, changing on weather patterns, and we have experienced that in our country.
Yeah.
And we have a club in Potter's House where we are really educating and bringing the learners to understand what climate change is.
Yeah.
And therefore, we've been taking part in tree planting just as a way of trying to curb the climate change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how do you think tunakuwa affected? Yeah, mostly at Eldoret or just all over. How do you think it's affecting us?
Especially in Eldoret, where we know that people here are farmers, where we actually need to know about the weather patterns. And of late, we are unable to predict the weather patterns because of the climate change.
Yeah.
So we are doing our best to ensure that we plant a lot of trees so that at least we are able, we go back to our old days where we could tell when we expected rains and where we expected dry spells. Yeah.
Ah, good. That is awesome. Ningekuuliza what you're doing kwa kiwango yako kuweza kusaidia, but this is what you're doing.
Yeah, we are planting trees.
You're planting trees.
Yes,
fantastic. I like it. So Kaila, thank you very much. And as you did, teacher, utatuacha na hatujamalizana na Kaila. Ndio, tuende kuongea more. Sasa tusha plant miti, na tushawaambia watusaidie kuplant miti huko nyumbani, si ndio? So nakuuliza vitu zingine kando. Do you have a hobby? What's your hobby?
My hobbies are dancing, modeling, acting, and swimming.
Wow. You can dance? Yeah. Tuna dance hapa. Mulama si tu dance? Tu dance nini gani unifunze ku dance? Tanifunza ku dance which style? Sindio? Tanifunza ku dance which one?
We need a song.
We need a song.
Yeah.
We need a song. Nani akona song atatuimbia tu dance? Ama hata tuta dance baadaye. So you're saying what else do you do apart from dancing? You model. You're saying you model? What do you model? What do you wear? What do you like wearing? Naweza angalia hivi kamera ndio wakuone. Ukimodel una modelingi kwa shule ukiwa na fashion show ama
fashion show.
Uko na manguo zenye una model?
Yeah.
Uko nazo hapa?
No.
Teacher hakuna nguo tunaweza nini? Iko. Tulete a model tuone, si ndio? Tuone, lazima tuone leo.
Adele has been staying with her grandparents, my mother and my dad, and you know, it's a forested area. So she plants trees at home. She likes asking questions about trees. Wherever we go, you'll see her touching the trees, the flowers, and she'll be like, Mom, can you get one and go and plant at home? So when I realized that she's really into tree planting and everything, I had to mentor her, help her in terms of getting trees, trying to teach her what is the importance of planting trees, and also just supporting her all around in terms of tree planting and conserving the environment.
That is fantastic. Do you know what climate change is? Let's start there.
Definitely, I understand what is climate change.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you know, climate change occurs when there is change in patterns, seasons, and the rise in temperatures, the changes in sea levels, among all those things. Yeah, it is just typically a change in the patterns that we used to have when we have a normal climatic conditions.
Yeah. Okay. And how do you think it affects us here? For example, here in Eldoret. Yeah.
Oh, really, it affects us negatively because we used to have very normal seasons, but now you can find we are having floods. We are having like the natural habitat for the animals and birds is really affected. So you will find animals that are supposed to be in the wild are just roaming around. Like the previous few months we had floods. So like it is because of climate change we're experiencing these things which were not there way back. Yeah.
Good. Let's talk about Kyla. Yeah. When did this start with Kyla?
Kyla started planting trees when she was almost 3 years old. Yeah, she has planted a lot of trees. At the moment, she has planted 100+ trees. Yeah.
Ah, that's nice. How have you helped nurture this? I mean,
I've given her all the support she needs. Anytime she needs to plant trees, I'll support her, I'll buy the trees, I'll make sure she goes, check on them, waters them, and she's also teaching other kids the importance of planting trees. She has a group back in the village where they just plant trees together, they discuss about the importance of trees at that age, and I think it is a good thing. She's mentoring other kids also.
Where would you want Kyla to be, probably in the next 5 years or so?
Oh God, I really want to see her soaring greater heights. I want to see her being the leading, she should be just in the environmental space, because you understand what we are facing now as a country and worldwide about the climate change and everything. I want her to be a champion in environmental conservation.
As her mother, how does that make you feel? How does you seeing this, you seeing her trying to protect the environment, how does it make you feel as a mother?
I'm very proud of my daughter. At a younger age, she has done something that I have not done. She has planted a lot of trees and she's conserving the environment. I feel so proud and I want to give her the necessary support. Yes.
Fantastic. So what is the next step from here? Now that she's already planted trees, 100 trees and that, and all that, where tunaenda wapi next?
Oh, I forgot to tell you this. Kyla is going to Thailand to represent Kenya.
Wow.
Yeah, it's because of our eco project, modeling talent and everything that she's going to represent our country in Thailand via Tiny Miss Kenya.
This school was started in 1976. So I think since 1976 we have been planting trees. We had the former President Moi. So he used to like monyonyoko wa udongo, so we plant trees. So we follow his footsteps, planting trees. So in this school we have several types of trees. We have the cedar, we have the bamboo. We have about 1,000 varieties of trees in this school.
We must keep our environment clean.
Yeah, I think it's very important to train the students to know about the importance of trees. A long time ago, when we were young, we used the trees in this region. There were many trees, and then we used to get a lot of rain. So I think nowadays there is no rain because people have cut a lot of trees.
Crowned by Skytrax 15 years in a row. Yep, we've taken over 500 million of you to places. All thanks to our dedicated All-Stars and you.
What is the vehicle to human ratio currently in Africa, which is what gives you that opportunity to want to get into e-bikes strongly?
We have one vehicle for every 25 people.
So clearly, buying more vehicles and putting them on our road is not the only solution. We need to find solutions that are affordable, lightweight.
If you look at manufacturers, they receive lots of orders on email from customers, and they have to keep a team of about 5 people to manually key in these orders into their ERP for processing. So that process takes a very long time, and Sanifu automates it. So we integrate with the email. It automatically picks the orders as they come in. It can get all the details, and automatically we also integrate with the ERP. So automatically creates it into the ERP.
Where did you come from?
Hamlet. So this is where the magic happens. This is for you kids.
Taste the magic with our festive cakes from DPL Festive Bakery. Delight with every bite.
Every step you take echoes the heartbeat of change, and every mile run is a promise fulfilled. The Standard Chartered Nairobi Marathon is more than just a race. It's a testament to hope, resilience, and transformative power. The 21st edition of the Standard Chartered Nairobi Marathon is here, and you need to be a part of this uplifting journey. Your participation directly supports the Future Makers program, an initiative dedicated to empowering young people, especially girls and people living with disabilities, to learn, earn, and grow. By running, you're not only challenging yourself, but also investing in their dreams and futures. Join us at the Uhuru Gardens on Sunday, October 27th for a day that blends excitement, unity and purpose. Register today for just 2,000 shillings at www.nairobimarathon.com and take your place in this pivotal event.
This Sunday on Property Focus, ladies and gentlemen, whether you're in the market for a cozy studio, a spacious 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, or a generous 3-bedroom, this one's for you. For the very first time ever on Kenyan television, actually ever anywhere, we're going to be touring the Tasa Apartments. This Sunday at 5:30 p.m. only on NTV.
Salama?
Kabisa.
Yes. The goat himself.
Yes.
Yes. How does it feel when you're driving a car that's in your name?
When I was young, I could know that one day, one time, I will run the way I'm running. I will just create an impact the way I'm creating an impact. People actually will be interested in what I'm doing. Until they will make a car. I think this is a privilege, and you know, it's good for the next generation to learn from it.
You've never do not finish. How did it feel for you at that particular point? It must have been extremely tough.
It was really tough. I know I was not expecting to really drop because I trained for 3 months. My name is Eliud Kipchoge. Watch my story on Spot On with James Wakapi and Bernard Ndong on NTV.
Dettol Skincare combines the trusted protection of Dettol with 2 times moisturizers to protect my skin from germs and keeps my skin soft with a beautiful fragrance. Beautiful skin is germ-free skin.
NTV, turning on your world.
And welcome to my panelists. Hi guys. Hi Cindy. Hi Mariam. Hi Mato. Hi. How are you guys?
Tuko salama kabisa.
Hata mjuaji how to answer.
Yeah, I know. Because now when you ask, we start thinking like, how am I?
How am I?
How am I?
And then you think about all those stories you've just highlighted and you're like, how am I?
Okay?
Truly. I am
Nyinyi kumbavu zenu, mimi niko sawa.
Hapana, mimi siko sawa. By the way, it's been such a toxic week for Kenya.
It has.
Such a toxic week for this country.
That's very true. I mean, every other week usually is, but then some are just worse.
Worse than others.
And somehow we like keep outdoing ourselves. You're like, this is rock bottom. Nope. There's another. There's another layer.
That's true. Is it us or the politicians, though, Mariam? I feel like
it's them, but
showing us dust.
Sometimes it's also us, kidogo.
Yeah, they keep us updated. They keep us on our toes. And it's just, they're like the 4th day of October. So I'm just thinking, gosh, what will happen by Christmas time? But otherwise, we're good. We're, you know, positive energy, love and light and all those good vibes.
Yeah. Well, I hope I had the same to say. And I was very upset. In fact, it's one of the things we were talking about with Mato when we first got to the office. Lawyer and activist Morara Kebaso was attacked by goons and forced to flee Bomas of Kenya during a public participation exercise on the proposed impeachment of Deputy President Gachagua. The 28-year-old outspoken critic of the Kenya Kwanza regime was injured when he attempted to go on the podium and address the crowd. And it was raining chairs. There was a shot, I don't even know if you can play that, but he was cornered and you could just see them throwing chairs, and one of them really hit him really badly on the head. Look at that. Can you see that? Please let's note that the only thing Morara does is talk about the stalled projects.
Yeah.
He is just highlighting how corrupt politicians are in this country. That's all he's doing. Look at that. Look at that.
That's why when you asked, is it the politicians or is it us? I was like, it's also us.
You're right,
it's
it is
not,
us.
It's not just the politicians, because those are there's no one in government there throwing a chair at Morara.
Yeah.
And even if you say, oh, you know, people are paid to do these things, you can take the politicians' money and do absolutely nothing. You know, con them the way they have conned you time after time, year after year. But this is really heartbreaking to see. We are definitely part of the problem. Like you said, all he does is go around and show you that every project that has sunk billions, millions, hundreds of thousands of shillings is actually nowhere. There's no progress going on core ground. That's all he does. And this is how we repay him. Mtu anakupigania au unampiga vita pia.
That's why we said goons by the Mariam.
I think hapa makosa ilifanyika kwa sababu the mood of the audience today at Bomas was anti-politicians. And because Morara just so happened to move from a Kenyan doing civil education to being a leader of a political party, I think the wrath of Kenyans just went to him as well. It is unfair. He is actually has been doing a very good job, but ni kama hiyo hasira ilienda ikamtandika, because it was in the same space that people were saying Gachagua must go, people were saying Ruto must go, in that same space. And you see, the interesting thing is there was a lady, there's a clip of a lady,
Caroline Chepto,
who yes, declared her name very loud and clear. Alisema saa hii ndio wakati mko na mashida zenu ndio mnatuita sisi ma youth na mnataka tuwasikize. Okay? Well, other than the fact that alisema chakula ni nini, alisema everybody must go. Si lazima tungojea ati mpaka wakati wa elections. But fact is, different areas in Kenya were having different opinions towards, you know, the not injection, the impeachment of the deputy president.
Yeah.
Well, I'd say this. For once, hii ni vita yao, wacha wapigane. Wakimaliza, wakuje sasa, tunawangojea na Shif na Adani. Yeah? Haya. Mkimaliza hiyo mtatuambia.
Sorry, Cindy, mna hashtag impeach both trending today, by the way.
That's what they were saying. That's what they were saying. Shout out to Caroline Chepto. She was not
mincing her words.
Not at all. Not at all. Yes, Cindy?
First of all, I think what happened in Bomas was bogus. I think this whole impeachment thing is bogus, and I'm happy to be quoted on it, because we are removing our focus from how our country is being sold and stolen from right under us. And it just goes to show how we are so sensational as Kenyans that if something small, scandalous is dangled in front of us, we jump up and we bite and we forget, you know, the grand picture.
But I feel like, haven't you seen this script before? We have, yeah?
Yeah, we have.
We have so many times. It's just with the younger generation. And I personally am a bit disappointed with Casmuel. You know, because he stands for, or rather, he was a figure of the people of Gen Z movement and standing against sensationalization. And now he's up on a podium. Instead of speaking like Caroline, he's speaking like the politicians, to the point where they're behind him and they're nodding. You're like, seriously, how much is your soul worth? There's absolutely no way you can convince me that you've not sold your soul. It's disappointing.
Because those politicians, when they're clapping for you and agreeing with you, just know.
Just know that you're lying in bed with them, and you know, you've been put on a pedestal by people who believe that you're fighting for the people, but now you've decided to go on the other side, and the person who's actually fighting for the people is literally being fought.
Can I say
Could that
something?
be the reason probably why? Sorry.
There's always a danger whenever you see someone pop out and come out and be very vocal against the government, and we've seen a lot of it over the last few months. There's always that danger that they'll either flip to the other side or become the thing that they are fighting against. So for some people it takes 10 years, for some people it takes 6 months, some people it takes, I don't know, maybe a few days. It just depends on how they get you. But whenever you see someone with like a hunger for wanting to be seen, not so much pushing their agenda, but they're just like, I want to be seen to be doing something, that's always like a big red flag. And I don't know about Casmol's bigger agenda or even Morara's. You support them when they're with you. When they're no longer with you, you leave them behind. When they're pushing like what we're pushing, good. If not, keep it moving.
Well, it could be also the fact that we had politicians who were defending Morara even during his case. That people have started feeling that, okay, he's no longer in bed with us, he's in bed with the other people, because it's an us against them. It's a very clear politicians, the political class against the Kenyans.
Absolutely.
That's very true. And if they don't see it that way, then that's just how you know, you can tell that we exist in very different worlds, you know. All right, so now as we move on, the nerve-wracking abduction and gang raping of a Mombasa-based blogger over political differences has left the country fuming, with calls being made for those responsible to face the full force of the law. Bruce John, popularly known as Chawa, was brutally abducted from his home in Bamburi by people linked to Mombasa Governor Abdul Swamad Sharif Nasir before being assaulted, sodomized and left in a dump site at Mwakirunge area within Mombasa County. While 4 people have been charged with the abduction and sexual assault of the blogger, many Kenyans are calling for the arrest and prosecution of the governor, whom Bruce has accused of having a hand in his ordeal. Now, I don't know if you guys listened to the audio. There was an audio that was shared. It completely broke my heart, and you could hear them confirming, "Wewe ndiye Bruce, utawachana na governor." And I don't, you know, politics is a very dirty game, you know, so I don't even know if it was the actual audio of you know, the incident. I don't know, but that's what you hear in the audio, them telling him to not talk about the governor. So it was completely heartbreaking, and you know, we have all, especially hapa kwa hii panel, tumeongea, tumesema vitu mingi. Have you guys seen the video though of what Bruce had said? He didn't talk badly, he did insult the governor, the governor's mom, the governor's wife. I understand. I'm insulted every day. In fact, even today, right under this hashtag, you will find very many insults, and some of them will be very personal, but I've never thought of sending anyone to do anything. I don't understand. Mato, I know you saw the video, I know you saw the story. What were your thoughts?
I did.
Given how very vocal you are.
You
are vocal.
Unajaribu kuharibu bwana.
No, nakwambia ni venye nashtua tu, yani mtu mmoja anaweza fanywa hivyo.
I intentionally avoided watching the video. But I did see the story, and I think and I believe the intention of this action was not only to publicly embarrass the guy, but to also break him psychologically, mentally, wound him to the core of who he is as a man, what he stands for and what he represents. I can only hope that they did not succeed, but it is very clear the entire nation at this point knows that this man was sodomized. Like, you know, probably even small kids in the streets who have no emotional intelligence to know how to handle talking to somebody who has gone through such an ordeal. They have unfortunately succeeded in that thing. I can only hope and pray. And, you know, I don't know, okay, see condolences. Like, pole tu sana. Pole tu sana, Bruce. This was a very heartbreaking ordeal for you to go through. First as a man, then as a Kenyan. It is very unfair. And I don't think anything is going to happen to the governor, because there is no direct evidence that points to the fact that he was actively involved or actually involved. And he's just going to go scot-free, and he's accomplished what he needed to accomplish.
I like that Bruce came out with this story, you know. The shame should not be on him. Yeah. And the same thing happened to the French lady. I don't know if you guys had the chance to see that story. There was a French lady whose husband, for close to a decade, I understand, would drug her and record her having intercourse with many men, and he proceeds to sell those videos and clips on the internet. And she told this story because she didn't want to cling on that shame, because it does affect you psychologically, emotionally, and as you've said, Mato, as a man, it does affect you. And I like that he came out and talked about the story, and he has received empathy from all, you know, corners of the country. Mariam, I want to hear your thoughts as well.
First of all, pole sana to Bruce and to all other victims of sexual violence. I think this is the first time where I've seen people not go the other way when a story like this comes out. You know, usually, men
blame the victim.
Yes, blame the victim, or even try to turn it into a joke or something of the sort. This is the first time I haven't seen that happen. I will say this. When you give people an inch, they take a mile. So this is a direct correlation of letting the smaller things slide. Like the use of violence by this administration to, you know, quell people who are vocal about the injustices going on, or to clamp down on dissent, has been very, very prominent. And this is just like another step. It's an allegation as of now, but now that we're graduating from this form of violence to now sexual violence, like these things are not accidental. That's why whenever we have these calls for justice for every small wrongdoing, it's so important to keep people in check. I hope that justice is found. I know it's an allegation, there's links and, you know, all of that, so I won't go into that, but I really hope that there is a world in where Bruce gets justice. I don't even know what justice looks like exactly for him, but I hope there's a world in where he gets it, and we can't let it slide, because you let it slide, then who knows what the next thing is.
Yes, who knows. You know, we all watched the video of DJ Evolve, and you know, we haven't seen any action really being taken, and there's a hopelessness that people feel, you know, and then seeing Bonnie, I don't know if you guys saw Boniface Mwangi in hospital, and you know, sometimes it really does break your heart to see what everyone who has decided to speak up, which is pretty much all of us at this point, what, you know, a lot of us are going through mentally. Cindy, we didn't hear from you. What are your thoughts on that?
I first heard about this story when I saw a post on Jugusha's Instagram, Justice for Bruce. I was like, hey, what's going on? I was a bit out of touch. And I went to Twitter, and when I just went through the thread, my heart was I was so heartbroken. I have not heard any audio. I have not watched any video. I saw bits of some, you know, censored clips. And I'm just like, when did we get so evil as a country? There's some things that are happening. I don't know, you know, Amina asked me earlier on, do you feel that things are changing? Do you guys actually feel like Kenya's become more evil? Like there is another level of stuff that we do that's unprecedented. We've never seen it before. Fine, you could say it's a generational thing, but guys are just doing some really nasty, horrible, heartbreaking things. And they're recording it, and they're getting away with it. Yeah. So in my heart, I'm just like, so what is the end game? What are we saying to activists, people who are speaking up and speaking for the people and against corruption? Is this the way to go? Are we justifying? So that is somebody's child, somebody's husband, maybe somebody's father. I don't know if Bruce has kids, but it's just the immediate thought that came to my mind is, when did we get so evil as a country? Yeah. It's baffling. Those are things you see in other countries. You're like, hey, in Kenya, never.
But Nyayo House, you know, they went through, the torture was bad, and
never see again.
Yeah.
Right? That was like, it was a history lesson.
Yeah.
But someone is determined to take us back to those days where it's like our present as well.
Yeah. And since when, what do you mean you can't differ with someone? Everybody, when you get into politics, don't you know that you have people who hate everything about you?
That you are employed by the people. That when they differ with you, their taxes are paying your salary. They have a right to have a voice and have checks and balances.
But Cindy,
you know,
Mato, you mean to tell me that he could not seek legal redress? There was nothing he could have done.
In Kenya, you get a position like this. You feel so important.
That's true.
That nobody should even breathe the same air that you're breathing. You should not stand within 100 centimeters next to me.
But I don't know, the evil is, like Cindy is saying, there's something so deep-rootedly evil about it. Because even his mom is implicated. The governor's mom is also implicated in the investigation. I'm like, someone's mother doing that to someone's child. How do we, you know, even deal with this as a country? If if the allegations are found to be true, then they all need to be in jail, right? All of them, from the people who are in that clip, from the men who sodomized him, to the governor, to his mom.
Because that's what Bruce did say, that the mom was also, you know, part of it. Pole sana, Bruce. Truly, pole sana. And also pole to Morara. You didn't deserve that.
Justice for Bruce.
Yeah. Now, let's switch things over to Kakamega now. A small-scale businesswoman in Kakamega County reportedly died by suicide on the 1st of October, earlier this week on Tuesday, after allegedly losing 60,000 in a gambling spree. The Kambiri area chief, while speaking to the press, disclosed that the woman was found dead inside her shop in Kakamega town. This isn't the first of this case we have had when it comes to gambling, because you believe it's coming back. She knew she's going to win, like, let's say 100K or 200K, and people even gamble fees, rent, things that you know it's coming back. So you can't have that conversation with your spouse or your partner or your family, and you just decide to take your own life. Mario, yes, Mato?
As a content creator, people keep on asking me, why don't you endorse, why don't you promote, why don't you do betting or gambling? This is why. This is why.
They pay well.
Najua.
Because they make a lot of money.
Let me tell you.
They pay better than any other.
Hapa tu. Naangalia watoto wangu watatu, naangalia hii pesa. Then nakumbuka ni watoto wangu natafutia hii pesa. So ninataka kutumia hii pesa kuwatafutia, alafu ikuje iwa
poteze
ujui
wacha ikae. I get what Mato is saying. I mean, here's the thing. There's always like the bigger question of what's happening as far as regulation is concerned in this country for betting, right? Because people don't gamble here for fun or for, you know, I have a little extra, let me see what happens here. People gamble for a living. Like you've said, Amina, people are like, Nekai school fees because I have 3 kids and school fees for 1. If I can triple it today, that would be fantastic. So I'm putting my rent down, I'm putting my entire salo, I'm putting the last 1,000 bob, the last 50 bob, and that's where you get to a point where you're so desperate where you feel like, you know, this is the end for me if the bet goes wrong. Now, the gaming and regulation question is a big one because whenever we try to regulate gaming, it's from a tax perspective. It's how much can the government extract from betting because they're making so much money, with absolutely no thought to what can we do to protect our people from this level of gambling. Even something as simple as a cap of how much you can bet in a day. Something so small so that people are not putting in their last 60K and then finding themselves in such a terrible position, right? Even something as simple as creating a work environment where people have meaningful employment so that they don't treat betting like a career. Things like that, like a job environment that works. A source of income for them.
Mariam, you're so funny. So you want the government now to care about you. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I want them to do their job.
Okay.
Impossible.
Wow.
Gambling can't be regulated.
You have to focus on the taxes. What was the reason SportPesa exited the market, you know, initially?
Taxes. It was taxes.
It wasn't because people were being affected and, you know, the children are not going to school. It had nothing to do with that. Yes, Cindy?
So, gambling, alcohol, cigarettes, they're all drugs. They are all
addictive,
very highly addictive. And there's a reason why the government cannot regulate to the extent that, you know, Mariam is saying where they put a cap because they benefit. The more people gamble, the more the betting companies make money, the more
taxes they collect.
So it is the question of, is it somebody's personal choice to put their entire savings into gambling? Vis-a-vis, it's somebody's personal choice to to drink their rent? Is it somebody's personal choice to buy a packet of cigarettes and smoke until they get lung cancer? Where does the personal choice come in? That's my angle. It's important to know that with every habit, of course, there's the desperation with gambling because there's an immediate return, there is money. But with all these addictions, there is a choice because you get something from it. So at what point do we say, okay, gambling is bad, but it is also somebody's choice to put their entire life savings into this funny game or into this football minis, where does the person
because at the
choice
same
come
time
in?
the government, once they step in, then you say, but I have free will. What do you
Yes.
this is my money, myself. What do you mean
So
you're telling me
I
what to
don't
do
think
with it?
regulation has to be like, hey, ban this, do that. I'll give a good example of like vapes in the UK were becoming a big problem. Teenagers vaping,
Yeah.
which of course they'll do, right? But the UK government did a very simple thing of having requiring them to lower the amount of their nicotine, yes, substantially, right? And also to have it labeled, only sold in specific places, all of that. That simple, very small regulation means that the UK now has much lower levels of like vaping compared to the rest of the West, and especially the US. Something so small can make such a big difference, but we want to be like, and it's not, they've not taken away the free will. They didn't ban vapes. They just said you can only have nicotine of this amount so that the level of addictiveness is like reduced. And it's like a small, little regulation, but it made such a huge difference for them as a country. And I think there's those small changes that we can make, but like you've said, the more people gamble, the more the tax shillings. So we're on our own.
We were supposed to ban vapes in the country.
Yeah, even
what
shisha.
happened? I mean, shisha is so funny. Shisha is still so
banned. It's still banned.
In fact, that's what happened.
Technically, it's banned.
I'll tell you something one day. In Kenya, what happened is when they banned shisha, all of a sudden, people realized, hiya, there's this thing called vapes. Now, vape is more harmful. They're both just as bad, but vapes are more harmful. And the worst part is that you're allowed to go with it on the aeroplane. You're allowed, you can't detect the smoke as if, when you're smoking cigarettes. And I wish it was banned because younger and younger people are now trying it out. And all it takes is you taking one puff. People used to deter from cigarettes because it makes you cough. It gives you a... It's not the same when it comes to
vapes that come in as smartwatches.
What?
Yes. Yes. A vape that comes as a smartwatch.
It's too much.
And then unarudisha.
Okay. What?
Telling you, scene industry is very creative.
It should be banned. It should be banned. And you don't even know when you get addicted to it. There are more vape addicts in the country now. It's insane. High school kids, primary, like we don't want to get to the level, that the UK got to, but it's really, really bad. It's really bad. All right, so now talking of bad, this is probably one of the worst stories that I had of the entire week. And again, nini ninaendelea. Teresia Wamboi, a daycare owner and operator in Wangige, Kiambu County, has been arrested for allegedly engaging young children aged between 2 and 4 in sexual acts. Police raided a three-year-old facility after a tip-off and a complaint from a parent and found more than 10 children thought to be victims of the suspect's disgraceful acts. During the arrest, the woman attempted to crash a phone believed to be containing video recordings of the minors performing despicable acts with each other. As a parent, you leave your kids at the daycare to try go hustle, There's usually, other family member nearby. Maybe you're a single mom or a single dad, or both of you go to work, so you have to leave the kids. And then this is what you hear. I don't even know how I would, I don't know. I don't know.
This one is a tough one.
This is not a conversation. Again, like what happened earlier with the children. No, other children who died. Yeah.
Okay.
This is not a conversation on be careful on who you leave your children with. It is not that, because this is somebody who is meant to be running a legitimate business who is just evil to the core by themselves. Because no matter how much due diligence you'd have done, this would not have come to be known had that one person, been lucky to see something that looked very strange in this person's phone, and then akasema hapa kuna shida. Because kuna wale wanasema nyinyi wazazi ambao pia si mkae na watoto wenu nyumbani mwachunge badala kuwapeleka kwa daycare. You do not know the circumstances around these parents who need that service provided by this woman. And what this woman was selling was trust. Which she broke. This is what she was selling. It was trust which she broke. And to think that I personally actually wanted to go into this business at some point in my life. Where?
No, but there's nothing wrong with that, Mato.
No.
You're very...
Where?
No, it's true. I don't know if you remember the story of the daycare owner in the US who killed her husband because she found out that he was molesting the kids at the daycare center. There are some people who start daycare centers and there are pedos. You know, there are people who work with kids, whether it's opening an orphanage or you have an NGO that deals with children. But you know, they're creepy like that. Pedos are really weird, bro. And also, who is she selling these clips and videos to? What the hell is going on, Mariam?
It's a whole ring, clearly. And the fact that she had, customers that she was trying to protect when she was caught, because the first thing she did was try and like break the phone, because that's where all the evidence was, means it's a much bigger ring. So that needs to be taken care of, because pedophilia in this country is such a big business. Child trafficking, sex trafficking, big businesses along the coast, but even in Nairobi, anywhere basically. The fact that people entrusted their children with her is so scary. I don't know, for any parent out there, I don't even know. I also hope that these kids get the necessary help, so they can one day, hopefully recover from this from a psychological perspective. Absolutely, because it's a lot to go through at such a young age. And I wish the same for their parents. But like I said, child trafficking, sex trafficking, child pornography, there's such big issues that we don't take care of, because a lot of the times it happens to kids who are either orphaned or street children, or or from very destitute homes and things like that. So it doesn't catch people's radar, because for some reason, it's like you don't think those kids are deserving of the same rights. But I'm hoping that we can get to a place where we're not talking about children being trafficked. Child pornography is a thing of the past. We have safeguards online for catching these things. Yeah, maybe in a different Kenya.
May she burn in hell.
May
she burn in hell. May
These
she
stories
get
are
the full
one.
force of the law. May she be cornered when she's in jail and worse things are happening to her.
Yeah.
May she always drop the soap and get the full penalty. And may the wrath that she has brought upon these children come before to her 10 times.
Yes.
Because if you over-sexualize a child when they are young, it is very difficult to change. There are things that you can change later on in a child, but over-sexualization, it becomes part and parcel. And the way Mariam has said, God be with those kids. Bring me back to my earlier question. Why has Kenya become so evil? It's become so evil. And yes, you could say, oh, there are cases like that. There was a charity. I think it was last year but one. Some foreigner, I think some UK guy, who was extradited to the UK to face charges because apparently he was molesting these boys. So it does happen. But I'm just thinking of late. Do you know, I personally told, even before the show, I told my husband, I'm not going to talk about this story. It's traumatizing me. I have boys that age. And these women are these are nannies, most of them. Unaenda kibarua unacha mtoto wako. Now you have double trouble. You have to still fend for your kids. Because see at now, because their kids have been molested in this daycare, they will not take their kids to another daycare. They have to. I want an option. And that time your child's burn in hell.
Yeah, I would for sure be in jail. I know.
I would, girl. I would be in jail with you.
Yeah. I hope she also burns in hell. That is wicked.
This week on Cars with Big Boy Trev, we take a look at the Hyundai Tucson, Korea's answer to the fierce soft roader contest in the used car segment. We check out its design and styling, practicality, engine performance, and its value for money proposition against its well-established rivals like the Toyota RAV4 and the Honda CR-V. Catch this and much more only on Cars with Big Boy Trev this Sunday at 5 p.m. only on NTV.
The beauty soaps I know don't give germ protection.
Dettol Skincare does. It combines the trusted protection of Dettol with 2 times moisturizers to protect my skin from germs and keeps my skin soft with a beautiful fragrance. Beautiful skin is germ-free skin.
There's no need to blame yourself for that. It's not like you actually told him to cancel his own wedding.
Mom, well, about Nikolai. Have you been able to contact him?
You were just pretending to be nice and you were acting like you wanted to help me get together with him, when secretly you had feelings for him, and you wish that he'd leave me for you. Well, are you happy, Adele? There, see, now your wish has come true!
Where did you come from?
Come. So this is where the magic happens. This is for you kids.
Taste the magic with our festive cakes from DPL Festive Bakery. Delight with every bite.
The 21st edition of the Standard Chartered Nairobi Marathon is here. Register today for just 2,000 shillings at www.nairobimarathon.com.
Dadangu, majina ni nani?
Patricia Munyoke.
Kutoka area gani?
Kitui.
Jina nani?
Hamisi Kazungu.
Kutoka area gani?
Marekani Mkilo.
Majina nani?
Anita Stanley.
Anita Stanley. Kutoka maeneo gani?
Inherited.
Tafadhali. Ukafika hapa masaa mangapi?
Masaa 12.
Tayarisha pilipili.
Cheza Loto Moto. Shinda pesa moto moto.
Where did you come from?
Come. So this is where the magic happens. This is for you kids.
Taste the magic with our festive cakes from DPL Festive Bakery. Delight with every bite.
To protect our family from germs that cause illness when it's cold, we use Dettol soap.
Dettol soap with germ defense gives you protection. When it's cold, germs are transferred in different ways, and Dettol soap's germ defense protects you from up to 100 illness-causing germs.
This is NTV.
Penzi msikilizaji. Mtazamaji. Sorry. Tuambie when they are ready. Are we ready? We continue. Thank you very much. This is a press statement on update on the Social Health Authority rollout. The government, my name is Dr. Abdi Mohammed. I'm the chair of the Social Health Authority, and with me are providers, the PS for medical service, and their members, and the management of Social Health Authority. The government of Kenya endeavors to provide the highest attainable standard of care to all Kenyans without incurring catastrophic expenditure. As such, we are on day 6 of the rollout to social health insurance. First and foremost, I would like to thank all Kenyans who have engaged and supported in the process of transition. We also wish to thank the many Kenyans who have given invaluable feedback on the challenges they have experienced during this transition. We assure you that we are working round the clock to ensure all challenges have been and continue to be addressed. We wish to update as follows. Number 1, registration. We have, as of today, 6th October 2024, registered a total of 12,704,548 members into the Social Health Authority. This number includes verified members who were under the defunct NHIF and who have been transitioned to the Social Health Authority as per Legal Notice number 147 of 2024. Registration does not have a stop end. It's a continuous process and is ongoing through the USSD *147# or web-based portals on www.sha.go.ke or www.afyayangu.go.ke. We have also noted that most beneficiaries are registering but not adding their dependents. We call upon all to add their dependents for them to access health care services as well. Therefore, all registered SHA beneficiaries are entitled to free access to primary health care services under the Primary Health Care Fund at Level 2 dispensaries, 3 health centers, and select Level 4 health facilities, and emergency services in all health facilities. Number 2, contracting of health facilities. All public hospitals, Level 2 to 6, have been contracted and are offering services to SHA-registered beneficiaries. With regard to private and faith-based health facilities, as of today, 6th October 2024, a total of 1,442 health facilities have since returned duly signed contracts and are therefore offering services to SHA-registered beneficiaries. Yesterday, we had reported a total of 1,577 health facilities contracted. However, this was an error due to duplication of name of facilities. The list of all health facilities contracted and offering services is available on the web-based portal on sha.go.ke/resources categories/2 and has been segregated as follows for ease of identification and access. A, contracted government facilities. B, contracted private and faith-based facilities. C, contracted facilities offering cancer care. And D, contracted facilities offering renal care. Further, following our engagement with private and faith-based hospital associations today, 6th October 2024, we have agreed that all their health facilities shall return duly signed contracts latest Tuesday, 8th October 2024. However, they have committed to ensuring continued access to health care service to all SHA-registered beneficiaries during this transition period. Number 3, the SHA e-claim system. It's important to know that during the initial days of the rollout, we experienced challenges on the e-claim portal, particularly on member verification and claim processing. We have since addressed the system challenges and we wish to update as follows. A, the e-claim system is up and running. B, a total of 10,904 end users have been trained and enrolled and their credentials sent. C, services are currently available on the SHA e-claim portal. D, for healthcare providers who have not received credentials, SHA has circulated a provider portal user onboarding form. Healthcare providers are hereby encouraged to fill and submit the onboarding form immediately. We have also made sure that the health insurance claim system, HICS, operating under the defunct NHIF, continues to be in operation for member verification, discharge of patients admitted before 1st October 2024, and for claims management of active enhanced schemes whose contracts have not yet expired. Number 4, on the issue of pending bills and bills arising during the transition, we have agreed the healthcare providers that a joint committee chaired by the Principal Secretary, State Department for Medical Service, shall be constituted to undertake verification of all pending bills incurred under the the defunct NHIF. Further, we have committed to the healthcare providers to prioritize the bills during the transition period, which is from 1st October 2024. As a result, there shall be frequent consultation with all healthcare providers. Finally, we wish to reaffirm our commitment for a smooth and seamless transition to ensure in particular that no registered SHA beneficiary is denied healthcare services. We are available for support and assistance through the Social Health Authority Customer Experience Center at 0800 720 601. Thank you very much. And for now, I will allow the chair of the associations, each one of them to give some remarks. I will start with Brian Lishenga, who is from RUFA.
Thank you. My name is Dr. Brian Lishenga, chairperson of the Rural and Urban Private Hospital Association of Kenya. We have had a very extensive engagement with the Social Health Authority led by the chairman and the principal secretary for State Department for Medical Services. I think first is to speak to healthcare providers across Kenya, in rural Kenya especially, and tell them that we have received reassurances from the Social Health Authority that, number one, the HICS portal, the NHIF portal that you have been using to verify clients remains open, and you can continue to use it to verify clients before you offer service. We have also received reassurances that in terms of your claims, that number one, the SHA portal for claiming should be up and running within the next 24 hours. So you should be able to claim through the SHA portal within the next 24 hours. But even if that is not the case, especially for the claims that you have been incurring since the transition began, we have received assurances that those claims, the settlement of those claims will be prioritized and that those claims will be honored. So I know there has been significant worry what is going to happen to those claims that you have been preparing in this time because the portal was not available. But we have assurances that one, the authority will honor those claims. Two, those claims will be prioritized. In the next 24 hours, the portal is going to be open for you to continue claiming. There are also quite a number of providers who are not able to offer services, have not been able to offer services because they did not have credentials. As the chairman of the Social Authority has just indicated, there is a form which has been circulated. It is a digital form. I want to call all healthcare providers in Kenya. Please get access to that form, fill that form immediately, and we have received assurance that within the next 24 hours, you will have received credentials to start serving Kenyans within the SHA portal. The other matter we have received assurance is for hospitals that offer outpatient services by capitation, especially our level 2 and level 3 hospitals. Those are the dispensaries and health centers. We have been assured that continuity of service under the capitation model for the next 90 days is guaranteed, and also for some select level 4 hospitals that shall be happening. So in case a Kenyan comes to your hospital, please verify that they are under capitation and do not turn them away. If you verify, proceed to offer them care. The details of how that reimbursement is being conducted are the subject of a committee that has been established, and that committee shall be giving a way forward in the very near future. Finally, I want to talk to providers about the critical issue of pending bills. On the issue of pending bills, as you have heard, we have been assured, and a committee chaired by the principal secretary has been formed to look into the pending bills. But as a provider representative, I want to say very clearly that the issue of payment or settlement of bills is not only a sign of goodwill, but is essential for us to be able to provide services. So I am calling upon the state agencies which owe money to the defunct NHIF, without any further delay, release those funds. We as providers are ready to cooperate, but we will cooperate when we have the money as well, because it is necessary for the provision of services. Other than that, we are significantly happy with the meeting today, and we want to thank the Social Health Authority for taking the opportunity to call this engagement. Thank you.
Next will be Dr. Eric Musau.
Thank you, members of the Fourth Estate. My name is Dr. Musau. I'm the current chair of Kenya Association of Private Hospitals. And first, I would like to reiterate our position is that we are committed to service delivery and continued access of care to patients as enshrined in the Constitution. And we do understand that in the last 6 days or so, we have encountered quite a myriad of issues. One has been member identification with the new portals, pre-authorizations for services that require pre-authorizations, and lodging of claims for services rendered within the gazetted tariffs. So as per today's meeting, the Chair Social Health Authority together with the PS have reassured Kenyans that we should be able to have these portals up and running by close of business today. As well, when it comes to service provision, especially for providers who were not yet empaneled by NHIF, that has been clarified, that they can now proceed, provide service as long as they are gazetted by Kenya Medical Practitioners and Dentist Council. So the rest has already been mentioned by my predecessor, and we want to thank the SHA team, the Ministry of Health, for the continued support. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think next, Dr. James Maina, Vice Chair Chuck.
So thank you, James Maina, Vice Chairman Chuck. Much has been said by my colleagues, but then we must appreciate that the mission hospitals have been key, especially in Chuck, to provide services to Kenyans even during this transition. So we want to assure that Chuck supports this transition that the government is undertaking from NHIF to SHA. And let us be positive, because upon success, it's going to be a game changer in this country. And I must appreciate the fact that we are working to reconcile our claims, especially. We have so claims that have been pending from 2015 to date. And so the commitment from PS, Mr. Hari, is key. And of course, we're going to make sure that the pending bills, of course, some of us, we have issues with salaries for our workers, supplies, and so we appreciate that commitment that we're going to have the government paying our bills even as we move to SHA, so that we can be able even to offer similar services to our people as we move forward. So thank you very much. May God bless you.
Thank you. Next is Ms. Jacinta Mtegi, Head of Health, KCCB.
Thank you. My name is Jacinta Mutegi. I head the Health Department at the Kenya Conference of Catholic Bishops. I also represent providers on the board of SHA. And I'm very humbled at the very good meeting we've had with the representatives of the associations of the private and faith-based health service providers. I think a priority for us in the church was the suffering we've seen in the last few days. And from today's meeting, I think there's a commitment for us to continue offering healthcare services, both from on the side of state and non-state. And the other challenge that was hard pressing was the issue of payments that the chairman and the PS have alluded to in the statement. We anticipate some payments to be made to the providers so that we can pay salaries and pay for commodities that has been a big challenge in our facilities. Largely, just to say is that the church supports UHC rollout and supports this initiative, and we have been providing healthcare services to Kenyans even during this transition. And like with all transitions, we anticipated that this was not going to be easy. And we are happy that consultations with providers, with the government, are leading to ways that to work around, working around the handles that we're experiencing during this transition. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you. Then the chair for Kenya Healthcare Federation, Dr. Gakombe.
Good afternoon, members of the Fourth Estate. As I've been introduced, my name is Dr. Kanyenje Gakombe. I'm the chairman of the Kenya Healthcare Federation. And the Kenya Healthcare Federation brings this whole ecosystem together. which is providers, payers, suppliers, suppliers of technology, suppliers of commodities, the entire ecosystem which is necessary to deliver care to those who need it. And we work within a framework where you have patients, you have providers, and you have payers. And the most important person in that trinity is the patient, because ultimately a healthcare system is designed to deliver value for money, quality healthcare to those who need it. And that's why we are here on a Sunday, to address the challenges that Kenyans have faced in the last few days since the transition began. And transitions, as you all know, generally tend to be challenging. And this is a very challenging one because you are trying to get 54 million Kenyans to all belong to a system where we pool resources, and then when we need care, we do not have to pay at the point of care. And therefore, it becomes extremely unfortunate if one can't get care when they require it. There have been questions about, are we better off, and why did we bother to change, right? I cannot pretend to speak for the government of Kenya. In fact, my entire practice in the health sector, for those who may know my history, has been one of campaigning for a better healthcare ecosystem, going back all the way to the year 2000, going back to the change that we are trying to move from NHIF to NSHIF. And there are certain very good changes that are taking place. And for me, the most significant is that the team that runs SHA, led by Dr. Abdi here, can only spend 5% of the money we pay on themselves. The other 95 is meant to give us services, and that's a law. And that's what we want to hold them accountable for. Why? Because back then, the period I referred to in 2005, NHIF used to spend 80% of the money on itself, 10% on fraud, and 10% on us. This is public information, it's available. So at that time, we had declared NHIF a parasite on Kenyan society. Because if you are given a shilling and you give the owner of the shilling 1 cent, 10 cents, clearly you are not adding value, you are just taking resources. So that, for me, is one of the most significant changes. But there are a few others, and some affect providers. In the past, the tariffs offered, you've had hospitals complain the money is not enough to pay for care. We now have a tariff board that will be looking at how much it takes to provide service so that Kenyans are better advised on what it actually takes to economically render a service in a particular area. So that if it's a hip replacement, we know what it costs, what SHA will pay, and therefore whether we need to pay anything over and above that or not. And then the governance structure includes an appeal tribunal for individuals and for providers. In the past, everything has happened here. NHIF has been judge, jury, and executioner. If you are not happy, the alternative were the courts, and not many of us took that option. So there is a more open governance structure, which I urge every Kenyan to take advantage of, to hold SHA accountable for the promise that we've been given. And the promise is that Kenyans should not have to do catastrophic spending when they fall sick. So my appeal to our people is this. The government has given us a scorecard, all of us, to score them on how well they are doing on health service delivery. Let us use that scorecard to give an E where an E is well deserved, and to give an A when they deserve an A. And I would appeal especially to those who have influence, the media included, to be at the forefront of using a scorecard to give feedback to the management, to the government, whether we are getting quality care or not. The Kenya Healthcare Federation intends to be at the forefront of doing that scoring so that SHA and Kenyans are aware of how well we are doing in giving service. And it's not a difficult score to give, because the first is whether people have access, which is what we are addressing today. And the second is whether the quality of care is above a certain standard, which is intended to be achieved by giving Kenyans the option of taking your SHA benefits to the provider who you think is best equipped to give you value for money. In short, we will have to compete on the basis of quality in order for you or any other Kenyan to choose us as your preferred service provider. And as you know from my education system, because there is an annual scorecard for schools on academics, on sports, on co-curricular activities, principals, despite the fact that they run public schools, are very, very sensitive to how well they score at the end of the year. So let us work together to make sure that hospital administrators, and I'm one, feel the same pressure that principals of schools feel every year, trying to justify their continued stay in office on the basis of their performance. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you very much. Finally, I will give a chance to the PS, Harry Kimtai from Ministry of Health, Medical Service.
Thank you, Chairman, Social Health Authority. I want to take this opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, to first thank the healthcare service providers for turning up for this meeting, which was a meeting that we had planned to review on the progress of the rollout of universal healthcare coverage in the country under the Social Health Authority. Indeed, it has been a challenging week. We've received comments from yourself, members of the fourth estate. You have highlighted cases where patients have suffered and where systems have not been put in place in the proper way. And we took note of that, and we want to appreciate also Kenyans for giving us time to continue with these reforms and these rollout plans that we have. Today we met just to take stock and prepare for service delivery as Kenyans start the next week. We've looked at our systems, we have reviewed them, and we have now reconciled together with the service providers, because they are the most important stakeholders in this process. We cleared with the county governments, where all the county facilities have been onboarded and they have been supported with the equipment to ensure that they also digitize their systems, because our delivery of UHC is premised on digitization. The private sector had done quite a lot in terms of digitization, and we are very happy with that. We are only integrating into the system. We had challenges because the systems could not speak to each other, and today our technical teams have worked with them. We are also going to support them in terms of our ICT, and we are combining the ICT from the private sector and the ICT from the county government and the national government to support the system. We have agreed on those areas that the chair of the Social Authority has read out, but key among them is how are we going as a government to continue supporting them and meeting our obligations, payments of the outstanding bills. We realize that has been one of the biggest challenges, because the service providers, their resources are now dwindling and they are not able to cope with additional members of the public who want to seek service within their facilities. We are going to fast track as a government payments of the pending bills. And to help us do that, we have formed a committee under my leadership, which will then quickly move and clear any pending bills so that we are able to support them. This is going to be sustainable for them in their service delivery. I want to thank them for committing to the government agenda of delivering universal healthcare coverage. We also give assurance from the government that we shall commit to meet our obligation for the purpose of Kenyans getting healthcare. I want to thank you, members of the fourth estate. Let's continue engaging, communicate to us where there are challenges. We shall all close the gaps and make sure that Kenyans get service. I do understand and appreciate that there was slight challenge of communication, especially between us and the service providers, and we have opened the channels of communication. We have now a toll station, our toll-free number that they can reach us. We have opened our call center. We have equipped, we have had additional staff to cope with all that, and I believe next week we should not have any other challenge where we can solve the problem without making the patients suffer. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you very much. I think we'll take 3 questions, and we'll give you. Yes, Leon?
You'll answer that one. The NTV cards, they went no longer function. And all healthcare providers from that part of the world tell them that they cannot trust a government that owes healthcare providers over 29 billion shillings. Now, you said you're forming a committee. Are you also looking at the Kenyans who went outside seek for treatment? And number 2, what are the timelines? Because healthcare providers also need those funds by equipment, by medicines, and sort of the hospitals that they have done.
Thank you. Yes, Emil. The last question? Anyone? If there is none, I will give the CEO the chance to answer those 2 questions.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Leon. Leon, the first question, patient abroad was admitted under NHIF. What do we do about them? All patients where NHIF had given undertaking before the 1st of October will have their bills paid by NHIF. All patients whose admission or whose procedures commenced after 30th of September will have their bills settled under the new fund SHA. There is no lacuna. There is no space in between. Now, a patient found themselves having spent more than what is approved under the SHA benefits. Those instances happen once in a while, where you will find that certain procedures have limits that are below what a hospital is charging. Well, hospitals are at liberty in a number of occasions to charge for conveniences and comforts over and above the basic treatment. SHA is assuring Kenyans that we shall pay for the basic treatment across the board. And we are paying a tariff per condition across the board for everyone. So what is happening here is that it depends on the facility where this patient went to seek service. There are facilities where the SHA rebate will be enough, and there are others where maybe because of a comfort or another, the SHA rebate may not be enough, and there may be need for top-up. Thank you, Shebet. Chairman.
Thank you. Just some clarifications. There have been a few issues in the media on certain patients who have been denied services, and Mr. Alio will explain what has happened to those patients.
Thank you very much, Chairman. My names are Ibrahim Alio. I'm the Director of Corporate Services at SHA. We have seen some patients who have been actually crying out and suffering. An example was Amze, who actually cried on the TV, and immediately we got that. Actually, we followed up with the patient, The patient by the name James Ngaruya Kanyore was a patient from Nakuru who went to a hospital called Sublime Hospital in Nakuru town, in Kenyatta Avenue, and he could not access service the first day he went there. We followed up with the patient. We actually talked to the patient ourselves, talked to the son, who was the caretaker, and actually followed up and made sure that in the next session, he will not going to go through any problem. The next session, his next session will going to be tomorrow on Monday, and we have also agreed that we are refunding the 9,500 that was paid by him to the facility. We also got another patient from Mombasa Coast General Hospital, who raised some issue, and we also followed up with the patient and made sure that the next session that he has, which is chemo, which is also tomorrow, will be taken care of. All our branches and the regional managers and all our staffs, the SHA staff across, have been deployed to all the facilities to make sure that patients get seamless services across all the health facilities. And with this, I think, with this agreement and with also all the health provider associations, we shall not going to have any issue. That is our anticipation and prayer. But again, we want to give assurance that should there be anybody who has an issue in terms of accessing health services and is a member of SHA or even defunct NHIF, please reach out to us. We have a toll-free number which we have shared and will continue sharing. Otherwise, we want to assure the nation that each and everyone who actually needs services under SHA will be going to be taken care of. We really apologize for any inconvenience, and as has been alluded here, there are going to always be some challenges when it comes to the issues of transition. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I think we have come to the end. Because they have been clear, for the first time, we have a tariff and a benefit that has been gazetted clearly. Because prior to it, we never knew what you are entitled, how much was it, who is paying, how much is being paid to the hospital. So the ones that have been said subject to availability, I would like this now to take back to you as the fourth state and to Kenyans to urge their members of parliament in the next budget cycle to allocate money to SHA for those two funds, primary health care and emergency chronic critical illness fund, because those are treasury funded funds and they are meant to benefit every Kenyan, irrespective of for emergency whether you have paid or not paid. And for primary, all you need is to register for you to benefit. Thank you very much. Yes, all patients who have paid out of pocket reach out to us and we will do the same for them. All the patients who have paid out of pocket. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yes, that is good.
The 21st edition of the Standard Chartered Nairobi Marathon is here. Register today for just 2,000 shillings at www.nairobimarathon.com.
Kuanzia Jumatano tarehe 2 hadi Jumapili tarehe 6 Oktoba 2024, Wizara ya Afya watafanya kampeni ya chanjo ya polio katika kaunti zilizo hatarini. Kampeni hii inalenga watoto walio na umri wa chini ya miaka 10. Chanja na umlinde mtoto wako sasa. Ujumbe huu umeletwa kwako na Wizara ya Afya, UNICEF na washirika wengine.
You know, the action is right here on NTV. My name is Amina Abdiraba. I am your host. Shout out to my co-host. The most decorated stylist that we have here in the 254. He is an absolute genius when it comes to fashion. Brian Babu joins me with his partners from Regalia. Hi, Babu.
Hi, Wargis.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Well, hello.
Fantastic. So, acha kina More pia wajiintroduce. Ndio, tuanze na Charles. Nishasema tuanze na Charles.
So my name is Charles Kenny. I'm the marketing director for Regalia.
Boss.
Gashien Njoroge, creative director, Regalia Apparel, co-founder, creative director.
My name is Kinyo Joseph. My friends know me as Mure, but I'm the co-founder, one of the co-founders of Regalia Apparel. Yeah, and I'm a fashion entrepreneur.
I like that, King. King is so much better. I try to stick na King. We love a King, and I sound poor. So this all started, Regalia, by the way, for those of you who don't know, is a fashion brand, and this is one of their many, many pieces that they have. They're all wearing pieces from Regalia. But tell me about how it all began. So you're all co-founders, all three of you? No, you're not? Or just the two of you? Yeah. Okay, tell me. So it started in a dorm room, come on Facebook. Yeah? So tell me about it, tell me.
Yeah, actually Regalia started off in a hostel in campus. Two of us, me and Mori, we've been friends now for 7 years. From back then, we started with 10 t-shirts, 7 dyes, and we managed to sell only 2 of them back then.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, and from that, we've built up to where we are today through consistency and the hard work, to where we are working now with Brian Babu.
Yeah. Actually, what?
Not forgetting God.
Not forgetting God. Thank you very much. Ujue madhaki ana watch show. That's how you know. Lazima akumbushwe. This is, you know, when you're telling me 10 t-shirts, that's very few.
Yeah, very few.
Na bado haikuenda.
Haikuenda, uliza mbili kwa mabeshti tu.
But inanikumbusha ile story ya Coca-Cola. In the first year they sold 25. This is literally that. So what did you do with the remaining 8?
We wear them a lot. We still wear them a lot.
So when did Charles come into the picture?
So for me, I was doing designs. I was interested in doing tie and dye. And then I reached out to them and we worked together and we did such a good job that I just felt like, yeah, we should continue having this relationship going forward. So saw something in them and we've come a long way since.
So ndio wakati yake akaingiza box akasema, guys, I see the vision. I see the vision. Why tie and dye though?
Something different.
Okay.
Something that catches people's attention. So yeah.
Well, Brian, you have been, how many years now have you been in the fashion industry?
10.
10 years. 10. It feels like it's been longer.
I feel like
truly.
It's been forever. It's
right?
like all my life.
I feel like you started with Saudi in high school. For real,
but professionally 10, but I think just working in doing my stuff for fashion, it's been like years.
Yeah. Now, before you, I don't think fashion styling was commercialized. I don't think it was something that existed. Or am I just being biased?
It was there, it just wasn't like commercialized in terms of entertainment and for TV. Yeah, it was maybe for ads, for magazines, and then I think very few people had stylists then.
Yes.
Yeah,
You're right. Like when you're doing ads, when you're doing a billboard or a show.
Yeah.
And even when I say the show, I mean when they're launching the show, they might hire a stylist, but they don't keep the stylist throughout for the show. Yeah. And you've had too many achievements for us to discuss. What are some of the highlights? Like when you look back now, 10 years, what are some of the things that pop into your mind? And
I have done numerous Sotisol tours. I've worked with you for 8 of those years as a stylist. I usually find it so hard to pinpoint one because I've been in so many big moments for different people that I can never say it is only this one. Like when you are launching this show, you are like, Babu, you know I need you for this show. I was like, I got you. When Kambo was doing something, when Wawu and Nameless were doing something, when Okina Janet Mbugo was doing something, when Atemi was doing something, like when various people, even Sotisol as individuals, when they are sort of in the trial phase of doing the individual careers, I worked with them individually and somehow still do, even to date.
Yes.
So it's a lot. Yeah. It's like I've been very, very big, like big moments for different people that I can't say that this stands out for me
This-
because
okay. What about
it was
campaigns?
special. It was special. It was
Yeah.
special for all of them.
But you've
Yeah.
also done campaigns. In fact, by the way, when he talks about that, he also styles their weddings. And it says because we met after my marriage, but we would have definitely,
Yes,
you would have
for sure.
definitely styled it.
Yes,
but you know,
yes, yes.
everyone's wedding, everyone's Sijui what, she's also there. But what about campaigns? Because you've worked with numerous clients.
I have done rituals.
Okay. Rituals, really?
Rituals. It's
In the sound of Charlie.
No, there's a big brand in Europe, a cosmetic brand called Rituals.
Aha.
I did their summer 2023 campaign.
Uh-huh.
That was a big deal. That was like something I've never done. Like we went to Zanzibar. We spent a week just shooting like all this amazing content for digital and for their billboards and for just the campaign. It was a great experience. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you didn't start out as rough as they did. Or was it rough for you?
The pits, man.
Oh, you were in the pits too?
Yeah. I remember so initially before I was a stylist, I used to